Welcome back to the Living Classroom. Today we've got an exciting adventure. We're flying into South America, Peru, to see how indigenous Shipibo communities are using permaculture food forests to regenerate the Amazon rainforest. Let's go! Here in the Amazon, the Chaikuni people are regenerating destroyed areas of the rainforest and turning them back into food forests. Now, food forests are forests that grow fruit, vegetables, herbs, and traditional medicines, and also help with climate change. Let's go find out which seeds and trees they are planting. Now this is a reforestation site using permaculture. Now what they've done is they've created a ground cover, which is a pinto peanut, a nitrogen fixing ground cover that's gonna start fixing the soil. And as soon as I get my hand under that soil, it's moist, there's fungus in there, it's decomposing, it's basically like a little compost pile. I've got all sorts of little creatures in there. And that's holding the moisture in for all these other trees to start growing up, like our nitrogen fixing canopy trees, like our popcorn cassias, ice cream beans. They're gonna provide the shade to hold the moisture in. And then you've got guavas, papayas, bananas, rambutans, the whole kit and caboodle that can start growing up under that canopy. Remember, a food forest isn't just about growing food, but also your own traditional medicines.
Buenas tardes. Voy a explicar de acá es sangre de grado.
Sangre de grado. It's a native South American tree that translates to dragon's blood. Because when you cut the tree, it bleeds red blood. And that blood is said to have magical powers that speed up the healing process of cuts and help people with cancer. This is the achayote plant. Its seeds are used for cooking, dyeing fabric, and also war paint to ward off evil spirits. But it was also known as the lipstick tree because it was a natural makeup that would attract a partner. Hermoso.
Beautiful.
So look what we just found in our Amazonian food forest. It's called the miracle fruit because apparently after you eat this fruit, it allows you to eat stuff that's really sour or really bitter. And I hate eating sour stuff, like a lemon. But apparently if I eat this, it's gonna make this taste really, really sweet. Should I check it out, or do you think I'm being tricked? It tastes nice. A little bit sweet, but not too much flavor. The real test is the lemon. You ready? Wow, I can't even taste the bitterness. Oh wow, I can literally eat this without tasting the sour. The miracle fruit. I'm gonna be keeping this seed for later. I sense a challenge coming up. So are you ready for your next challenge? Your challenge is to go to an organic fruit store and buy your favorite piece of fruit, or a piece of fruit that you don't recognize, like this custard apple. And what I want you to do for the rest of the episode is eat your piece of fruit and collect its seeds. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's head back to the food forest. Any idea what this plant is? It's actually the cacao plant. This is where chocolate comes from. You crack this open, you can eat the flesh off the seeds, and then the seeds are turned into cacao powder, which is then turned into chocolate. I've always wanted to be a cacao boy. Have you ever wanted your own supply of coffee? Well, here it is. It's a fantastic coffee plant that goes really well in the understory of a food forest. Never again will you have to buy coffee from the shops. Did you know that a food forest doesn't just feed us. It feeds all the beneficial insects in our garden, like ladybugs, cicadas, and cute little caterpillars. But do you know which insect is the most important insect for our garden? Bees! This is the amazing Melipona bee. It's a native stingless bee that pollinates all the flowers of the food forest so the trees can blossom with fruit. And inside this box is a beautiful hive full of very rare honey. And indigenous tribes use this honey for medicines to cure infections in your eye, your lungs, and your stomach. And the good thing about this medicine is it's delicious. That's why it's so important to look after our bees. Without bees, we get no pollination. No pollination means no more fruit. No more fruit means no more trees because we won't have any seeds. Speaking of which, how many seeds have you collected so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The beautiful thing about this permaculture project is we're not only creating a food forest scattered with beautiful traditional Shipibo medicine plants, but we're also restoring the lungs of the planet, absorbing all that carbon and releasing all that beautiful oxygen back into the atmosphere. On Earth, everything is made from carbon. It's in the soil, the trees, the sky, the ocean, and even us. But when our Earth was really healthy, most of the carbon was stored safely under the ground with the help of trees and animals. But we chopped lots of those trees down and built mines and drills, and they all pulled all the carbon out of the ground so we could run our cars, heat our homes, and charge our phones and computers that allow you to watch this video. But where does all that carbon go? Unfortunately, it goes into our atmosphere through smog and pollution. So how can we, as students of the living classroom and guardians of the next generation, how can we put all that carbon back into the ground where it belongs? By planting trees. And that is how you start a food forest. How many seeds did you collect over that episode? I got 10, 20, 30, 40 seeds. That's 40 potential custard apples that I can start a food forest with. Now imagine with my seeds and your seeds, and we started food forests in our backyard. Imagine how much food we could grow. Imagine how many medicines we could make. Imagine how much carbon we can pull from the atmosphere and store back into the ground. So that's your mission. Start a food forest in your backyard. I want to see photos, hashtag Living Classroom Project Food Forest. That's your mission. Next episode, we're flying out of the steamy jungles of Peru and up into the Andes Mountains to grow food above the clouds, 3,000 meters above sea level. These episodes are going to get crazier and crazier. And I want you to come along for the ride. Let's go! So keep an eye out for the next episode. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, or send us an email, and maybe we can get a living classroom growing at your school. Bye!